Hello everyone, welcome to Raja Wishes. I'm Molly and today we are going to go have fun on the Skyliner. That's right, I'm going to take you along with me to not only clock just how long it takes to get from every location on the Skyliner, but I'm also going to share some basic information about the Skyliner with you as well as some helpful tips. So before I head off anywhere on the Skyliner, let's answer the most important question about the Skyliner, which is where exactly does it go? So the Skyliner connects Hollywood Studios to the back of Epcot at the International Gateway. There are also 4 resorts that connect to the Skyliner: the Riviera, Caribbean Beach, where I'm at today, and then also Art of Animation and Pop Century Resort. The main hub of the Skyliner and where I'm starting this video off today is located at Disney's Caribbean Beach. So here is where all 3 lines will connect through this main hub. One line connects to the shared Art of Animation and Pop Century Resort, one line connects to the Riviera station and then continues on to Epcot, and then the final line that connects to Hollywood Studios. If you are staying at Caribbean Beach, then Jamaica is going to be the closest section to this main hub of the Skyliner. If you are not staying in Jamaica or Aruba, because this resort is so big, there is actually an internal shuttle that will drop you off right here at this bus stop, right in front of the main hub of the Skyliner station. There is also a Joffrey's location right before you go into the main hub for you coffee drinkers. Alright, so let's hop on the first line over to the shared Art of Animation and Pop Century station. The only thing over at this station are these 2 value resorts, so if you're not staying at either of these, then you're not going to have to worry about this line. It should only take about maybe 4 or 5 minutes to get from here over to that station, but I am going to time it from the moment I step foot inside the gondola until I step off. And I'm going to do this for each of the lines leaving the hub so that you can kind of get an idea of how long it's going to take you from point A to point B, depending on which combination of these lines and stops you end up needing to take. So I am here in the early afternoon, so as you could see, I did not have to wait at all to board this Skyliner from the main hub waiting. I just walked right up, but that will not always be the case. At peak times like park opening and park closing, the Skyliner can sometimes get some really long lines, but it does move really quick. And since they are not busy, I was given my own gondola. But if it is busy, then you can expect them to pair you up with other guests. So each gondola actually can hold up to 10 people. Now, I have never been in one with that many people. I was once in one at the end of the night coming back to this station because I was staying at Pop Century, and they put 8 of us in a gondola, and it was tight. It was fine though, and it made the line move super quick, so I think all of us were totally okay with that. But for the most part, they usually try and give you your own private gondola for your party. But of course, to help move the line along, if there is a line, then you can expect to be at least with a few other people. Another important question to answer about the Skyliner is, when is the Skyliner open? The Skyliner usually opens about an hour before early entry starts at the parks. So for example, Hollywood Studios and Epcot both opened at 9 o'clock this morning, and so early entry for guests started at 8:30 this morning. So that means that the Skyliner opened up at 7:30 this morning, and goes the same for park closing. Usually it closes about 90 minutes after park closing, but there are signs at each of the Skyliner stations, and you can also ask a cast member. So make sure you definitely know when the Skyliner is running so that you can make sure that you know how to use it. Alright, so that took just under 4 minutes to go from the main hub to this shared Pop Century and Art of Animation station. Now I'm going to go head back to the hub and hop on line number 2, which will be headed off towards the Riviera and Epcot. Alright, so that took just under 3 minutes to go from the main hub to the Riviera station. While this is the Riviera station, this is also going to be the closest Skyliner station if you are staying in the Aruba section of Caribbean Beach. Now, if you are just headed to Epcot, you are going to stay on the Skyliner at this stop. They will let you stay there, the door will open, they will ask if you're getting off at the Riviera or continuing on to Epcot, and if you're continuing on to Epcot, you will be right on your way. Today though, I wanted to stop because This is one of the prettiest places in all of Disney World, and not a lot of people know about it because not a lot of people stay at the Riviera or take the time to walk over here. So right when you exit the Skyliner station and start heading into the Riviera, there are these two absolutely gorgeous mosaics. One is Peter Pan and one is Tangled, and these are absolutely breathtaking during the daytime, but they are even more pretty at nighttime. So if you are coming through the Skyliner, I highly suggest getting off and coming checking these out at the Riviera. So one thing to keep in mind about this station, while those mosaics are absolutely beautiful and I love coming to see them, is that because this station is optional to get off on the Skyliner, or you can continue on to Epcot, there's not a whole lot of people getting off, which means there's not as many empty gondolas. So especially first thing in the morning, it can be a little tricky in order to have a gondola come through that is either empty or has space for your party. So just something to keep in mind. All right, continuing on to Epcot. So today it is a beautiful day. It is a little on the warm side, but it is not hot by any means. It is just nice. So right now, riding the Skyliner, it's beautiful. There are these little holes, which you can see behind me, as well as I'll flip the camera around to show you as well. And these serve as your air conditioning while you're on the Skyliner. So during the summertime, it gets a little warm up here. As long as you're moving, totally doable, totally fine. However, sometimes the Skyliner stops. And if it does, and it's the middle of the summer, you feel like you are sitting in a plastic bubble, which you are up in the sky. It gets so toasty. You are just waiting for the Skyliner to move. Luckily, that doesn't happen super often. Now, if the Skyliner does stop, it's probably due to them either loading or unloading an ECV, which is going to be a mobility scooter for someone, because they have the ability to slow the system down as much as they need to. So it can be just slowing it down a little bit so that somebody who needs a little bit extra time can enter the gondola safely, or they can really slow it down, and that will be for their mobility enabled gondolas, so that they can go ahead and load those very easily. So it's kind of like being on a ride. If you've ever been on Haunted Mansion or Buzz Lightyear and it stops, that's why. It's because they're loading or unloading. The Disney Skyliner is a pretty reliable transportation system. However, it will go down for a few reasons. One of those reasons will be if there is lightning in the area. Again, you're up in the sky connected to metal wires and metal poles, so that's just a safety issue. So if there's lightning in the area, then the Skyliner will not be running. If it is raining too hard or if it is too windy, they will also shut the Skyliner down, because again, for safety reasons. Now, if it's a light rain and a little breezy, you'll be fine. Even though there are the little holes to let the air in at the top, there are also these slanted plastic pieces that kind of keep you protected so that rain doesn't really come in here when it is raining. I've been on the Skyliner plenty of times when it was lightly raining, and you wouldn't have even known unless you looked outside. You're totally fine. What do you do if the Skyliner stops and it's been stopped for a while? There's obviously a problem and you're feeling a little concerned. Well, see behind me, if I can point right, there we go. There's actually a little button that you can press in order to speak with a cast member. So you're not up here completely by yourself. If you need help, you can access a cast member. All right, so this is actually perfect timing because I just came to a stop. And it's not so much a stop as a very, very, very slow crawl. As you can see behind me, I've been slowly, see if I can get the other Skyliners there. I mean, I'm just moving very, very slow. So most likely what that means is that they had to slow it down to accommodate a guest, which is great. If you are someone who needs a little bit extra time, that's something you don't have to worry about. Another great thing about the Skyliners versus other Disney transportation is that you can just roll a stroller right in here. As long as it is not a double stroller, it's gonna fit. You don't have to break it down. There's no more carrying all the stuff out of it, dragging it, breaking it down, lugging the kids, lugging the stroller. You just roll right in and you're ready to go and you're off flying. From the Riviera to the International Gateway at Epcot, it took just under 10 minutes to get here. Now for the third and final line from the main hub is the line over to Hollywood Studios. And this again is super quick. It should take, I'm guessing, a little bit under than 5 minutes, but let's clock it and find out. So that took 5 minutes exactly, just like I thought. Thank you so much for watching today and coming along with me on the Skyliner. Hopefully you learned some things you didn't know, learned some valuable tips that'll help you out on your next trip. And until next time, like always, wishing you less stress and more magic.